The Iraqi army has driven Islamic State militants out of the western city of Ramadi after a week-long operation. Soldiers raised the national flag in the city center. ISIL occupied Ramadi back in May, and after weeks of intense fighting, large parts of the city are now in ruins. Iraq's prime minister has visited the city to mark its liberation from jihadists. While at a media briefing in Washington, the State Department said financial aid will continue to be provided to help Iraq rebuild, which immediately raised questions.
The U.S. government has spent quite a lot of money in Iraq over quite a long period of time to try to promote stability. Why should anyone believe that U.S. money will be decisive or significant or even influential at all in the current circumstance when the money spent in the past didn't necessarily maintain stability?
Sure. This has been an iterative process, and in many respects, certainly on our part, learning how to effectively work with local governments, local leadership, to bring back stability, to create security and a secure environment for the local populations.
Iraq has been one of the main recipients of U.S. aid since the 2003 invasion. Billions of dollars were spent on rebuilding the country and funding the war itself following military intervention. Despite the efforts, UN statistics show that the situation in Iraq remains worrying years after the conflict. Millions still suffer from water shortages and poor sanitation, while many need urgent food aid and have been forced to flee their homes. Political expert Derek Monroe thinks foreign funding simply fuels corruption.
Well, I think the classical definition of insanity is basically doing the same thing over and over again, and each time, expect different result. It's been a failure not only in Iraq but Afghanistan, and recently the issues with the Free Syrian Army as well. So I think it's not going to make a difference. It's going to further the corruption within not only Iraqi government but also within our own armed forces that are originally going to be providing the trainers as well as the private contractors. So I think it's really a road to nowhere. And also people don't realize a lot of money which is being appropriated by Congress for any kind of help to Iraqis, Afghanis, or anybody else for that matter is usually appropriated to the private contractors, so that actually dollars do not leave the United States. They stay here at home.
At least 19 people were killed in two coordinated blasts in Syrian city of Homs. A parked car packed with nearly 440 pounds of explosives blew up on a busy road before a suicide bomber detonated himself. One of the explosions was caught on camera.
The bomb went off when I was approaching my home. I don't remember what happened next. When I came to, I was in hospital.
The suicide bomber got out of his car and tried to escape. Then he blew himself up, killing two boys who happened to be nearby.
So far, no one has claimed responsibility for the bombings, but Islamic State carried out a double blast in the same area of Homs around 3 weeks ago. The city is Syria's third largest and was once known as the capital of the revolution. But earlier this month, it was reclaimed by the government after a UN-backed ceasefire. The U.S. State Department has taken a look back at this year and, to the surprise of many, not least Syrians, outlined bringing peace and security to Syria as one of America's greatest achievements.
Only by bringing together all external players that can influence what is happening on the ground can we achieve good results.
It seems rather delusional to me after I read that report today hailing the progress of the State Department and John Kerry. I see no progress that he's made whatsoever other than attending meetings in Vienna